I went on, and so I go on the Catch a Rising Star, and I try to be good, and then I'm good all the way through. Like, everyone laughs and everything. And so the guy comes up after me, this guy, Robert Morton, who books the comedians, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, I'm putting you on, and I never do that. I always see guys 6, 7 times, but I'm putting you on. Like, he made it like all special and stuff. So I go, yeah, that's good, He goes, just do that set, So I had it on a little tape recorder, a teensy-weensy tape recorder. So I just practiced that set, And then when I came back, he had me come the night before I had to go on Letterman. And then he goes, hey, we'll go around and practice your set. And I'm like, no, I got it, because I had it word for word, He goes, nah, but let's just do it, So we go to Catch a Rising Star. And then I bomb. Like, no one laughs at one single joke. So then I get off and I go, still.
Actually, he went to the club with you to, wow.
Yeah. So I said, well, I still do the show, right? Like, I didn't think I wasn't going to do the show. So I get off and he's like all panicky and sweating and everything. He goes, what happened to that other set, man, that you did before for me? And it was like the same set, word for word. But I didn't want to say it was the same. Like, I realized. So I go, I changed some stuff. Like, I was trying to think quick.
Right, yeah. That's good. That's good, because then that means you can go back to the other set.
Back to the other stuff.
Which is the same
I don't know what
set.
I was thinking, man, going crazy like that. But I thought I'd try some new stuff. He's like, no, that's not the thing. The thing is to do the one that we like, right? So I was like, yeah. So then I did it. It was okay. But the funny thing is, if the first time I had bombed, the guy never would have put me on in a trillion years.
But then you eventually obviously went on. David Letterman.
Complete fluke. Like, because they'll say to you, they go, we don't care what the audience thinks. That's what these bookers go, But no one's ever bombed, and they go, hey, let's get that guy that everyone hates.
Yeah, so
put him on.
So what happened then? You did go on, though? Or?
Yeah, I did. But I'm saying, like, if I'd bombed the first time, I wouldn't have got to go on.
No.
Just got lucky.
I was watching on YouTube today, you going on Letterman. Well, I didn't go on.
YouTube's fun, man.
Yeah. It was...
You know what I'm listening to now a lot, Tommy? I'm listening to audio tapes of Lyndon Johnson.
Really? Okay. Well, now I understand why that. I believe that you actually do watch this website now.
yeah.
Really? What do you mean? Really?
Yeah.
Really?
He put in the system, that brought Nixon down,
He put in the tape system.
Yeah.
Okay.
And and his are way more entertaining than Nixon's.
So he put it in. That's kind of interesting. That sounds like kind of what you build a system to record. He did that obviously, so he was very aware that it was there.
Yeah.
So he was sort of almost doing a radio show.
He did what you do.
He was Rupert Pupkin. Lyndon Johnson was Rupert. Yeah. So what are you?
So the funny ones were sometimes they're really funny. Just like the Nixon ones, the funniest ones are when there's all these Nixon tapes that you can listen to in the Library of Congress that have nothing to do with Watergate. They're way the fuck funnier. Like, it's just Nixon talking about his wife and shit. And like one time his in-laws are coming, he's like, I think I'll go stay at Blair House. I don't like that lady with her cooking. And you're like, oh, it's weird, it's the president.
How many hours of these tapes have you listened
I've listened to a lot of them. But the Johnson ones are the funniest. So anyways, you probably didn't know this. I never fucking knew this. And the guy from the New York Times may or may not have. Anyway, fucking Sam. He's checking his watch going, what's The Simpsons made so far? Anyways. Doing a little Rickles.
Yeah.
So, anyways, what was I talking about?
The Lyndon Johnson tapes.
Yeah, so this, I didn't know this. Lyndon Johnson, he's wins his election, right? He's way ahead in the polls, like a week before the elections come. And his chief of staff, they have a party, because they're so happy, because next week they're going to be president again for 4 more years. So they have a big party at the White House, and his chief of staff goes across the street to a YMCA and blows a dude.
Wait a minute.
So the next day...
I gotta take my jacket off here. This is ridiculous. What happened here?
Yeah, that's what happened.
Say that again.
Okay, so Lyndon Johnson, right?
Yeah.
He's going to win.
Yeah.
He knows he's going to win. He's way ahead in the polls, as long as nothing crazy happens, right? So he goes, hey, let's have a little party, a week left, We're going to win easily unless some crazy thing happens, And so they're having the party and everything. And
but how did anyone find out about the
chief of
dude
staff
getting blown?
Because the chief of staff, well, listen, if you go into a Y and blow a guy...
Right, but
you never know.
But it just came out. Did this actually come out in the press?
Yeah, like they had a sting operation.
And is this on the tapes? Is this on the tapes?
It was funny because it was in the old days, so the press couldn't say that, you know. So they had to say it in language that the audience didn't even kind of understand. They go like he was caught in a somewhat compromising situation in a young man's Christians association, and people, old farmers, would go, well, wonder what happened there. So they wouldn't come. So I think that helped them, but the conversations with Lyndon Johnson are hilarious because he goes, he's just talking to his friends, and it's this longtime guy that he didn't know was gay, you know, and he's like, my golly, I could never have figured that for Bob. I've known Bob 30 years, and he goes, I'd quicker say I was a fruit than him.
Really?
Yeah,
on the tape?
On the tape, yeah.
Where did you get the tape? Where did you? Lyndon Johnson said that. Where did you get the tapes?
And then he goes, and then the funniest thing is he phones J. Edgar Hoover, who he knows is gay, right? But he's like real powerful and everything, right?
J. Edgar Hoover was gay.
Yeah, like, you know, he was a transvestite and he'd have dudes over. And
is this true? Or?
Yeah, no, that's fairly well documented.
I know
I'm
it was
outing him.
I know
Perez Hilton over here.
I know people.
No, this is fairly.
Yeah.
He's well documented.
Yeah.
So Lyndon Johnson knew for sure he was gay, but he was scared of him because he was so powerful. So he just like needles him, you know. And he's like, so he's talking to him and he goes, I can't believe old Bob's one of them fellers, you know. They didn't even have a word for it and stuff. And so J. Edgar Hoover goes, well, sir, that's, he goes, I have to ask a rather tough question here, but now when Bob was involved in this, was he the more or less sort of, you know, participant, or was he more or less the feller that, you know, instigated the thing, you know?
He's asking if he's a catcher or
yes, I don't know.
I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. What have you got me? Why are we talking?
Gross, you're saying that. So the guy goes, so then J. Edgar Hoover goes, well, I wouldn't, well, Mr. President, he goes, I'm sorry to tell you he was the instigator, you know, and he goes, oh, good God, he goes, how do you spot a feller like that, Edgar? You know? So then J. Edgar Hoover goes, well, I wouldn't know, sir. He goes, oh, come on now, Edgar. He goes, if there was anybody that could spot a feller like that, it'd be you. Why, you're the head of the FBI. And so,
this isn't really what's on the tape. Is that really on the tape?
That's really on the tape. And J. Edgar Hoover's kind of mad. He's like, anyway, all right. Yeah, you got to hear it. It's the fun.
Really? And where
I'll
did
bring it in. I know you love broadcasting.
Yeah, where did you get the tapes?
I read a book that were the history of the tape, and then I got the audio version of the book, and the audio version was the tapes themselves.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know about it.
Wow, that's funny.
Anyway.
So what have you been looking at on YouTube then? You have
YouTube. I've been checking out. You know, YouTube's tough because like you'll go to, they don't like sort them right, so you'll go to like Dean Martin. We'll go Dean Martin singing. You know, everybody loves somebody. And the next one's like me doing Dean Martin in my basement. It's just a guy.
Yeah.
So like they don't put them in order.
I'm amazed. You were pretty into the computers, right?
Yeah.
Like what do you really actually end up watching then? You watch the old television, Dean Martin, and
yeah, on the YouTube. I watch mostly YouTube.
What would be some clips you could tell the people watching at home on the National Webovision?
Well, I don't like what's it called, Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude, yeah.
Is that the word?
What is that?
Taking
pleasure in someone else's
misfortune.
Yeah,
he said Schadenfreude.
Have you put that into YouTube? Schadenfreude?
No. But
we could do that.
I'm sort of against that.
I don't know how to spell. Do you know how to spell Schadenfreude?
Who would know how to spell that? Guy from the New York Times only.
Probably. Do you know? John, how to spell? Let's. S-C-H-A-D-E-N. Okay, wait. Let's do this.
He's only written it 4,000 times.
F-R-E-U-D-E.
Okay, wait. I'll go to YouTube here. Something's wrong with the machine. YouTube's not opening, but okay. Let's actually do this since we're going down that road. We should do it now, right?
Yeah, sure.
Is that what you what?
I was going to say I'm not.
What do you look at?
I'm not
on
such
YouTube?
a fan of it, but sometimes it hurts. It's very hard not to watch it. But
so you like to watch people getting beat up and
not getting
wiping
beat up,
out?
But I liked watching. I really watched. People have guilty pleasures or whatever. When David Hasselhoff was trying to negotiate the hamburger.
Okay. Yes, David Hasselhoff. Yes, I saw that one.
And I didn't feel bad because he didn't have he's been drinking a long time. I don't know how old he is, 70 or whatever. But when you reach the point, if you've been drinking long enough that you're lying on the floor with no shirt, having a hard time with a hamburger.
Yeah.
That's a guy. But now look at him. He looks way better than me.
He's
Big chest, perfect head of hair.
See, the thing is, when I saw this,
And then his daughter just tortures him.
yeah, come on now.
Like, that's not a good time if
So
you want to talk a guy out of drinking. She's like, you should quit. He's like, the hamburger.
He's got a hamburger, a delicious, greasy, dripping burger.
That's all he wants.
Yeah, it's a